The Awakening. I'm going to be brutally honest with you. What you're about to hear isn't motivational fluff or moral advice. It's not what your father told you, not what your teachers drilled into you, and definitely not what society wants you to understand. Because if you ever truly grasp what I'm about to reveal, the world will never look the same again. You'll start to see people not as they appear to be, but as they actually are, driven by hunger, fear, lust, and the illusion of virtue. 500 years ago, a man named Niccolò Machiavelli stripped human nature naked. He didn't write fairy tales about goodness or justice. He wrote the operating manual of power itself, how humans really think, act, and dominate. His book was banned by the church and studied in secret by kings, generals, and CEOs who built empires from its lessons. Because Machiavelli didn't write for the weak. He wrote for the few who dared to see the world without illusion. So if you want to keep believing that honesty always wins, that love always lasts, and that goodness always triumphs, stop listening now. But if you're ready to understand how power really works, then keep watching. What you'll hear next will change the way you see everyone around you, forever. 1. Emotion over logic. The first lie you were ever told is that people are rational. They're not. You've been taught that logic wins arguments, that truth changes minds, and that reason shapes decisions. But Machiavelli knew better. Men judge more by the eye than by the hand, he wrote. Translation: people don't see reality, they see appearances. They don't seek truth, they seek comfort. Every choice they make is ruled by emotion, not reason. That's why facts don't persuade, feelings do. A man who masters emotion can make others move like puppets. History's manipulators knew this. Hitler didn't rise through logic. He rose through fear and hope. Corporations don't sell products. They sell emotions. Religions don't spread through debate. They spread through desire. So stop arguing facts. Stop trying to prove you're right. Instead, learn to make people feel you're right. If you want influence, you must speak to hearts, not minds. Logic is a tool of the weak. Emotion is the weapon of kings. 2. Weakness invites predators. You've been told that being gentle makes you good, that being harmless makes you moral. But nature doesn't reward harmlessness, it devours it. Machiavelli saw that strength and weakness divide every man into predator or prey, nothing in between. A weak man attracts cruelty the way blood attracts sharks. The quiet student gets bullied. The passive husband gets abandoned. The soft leader gets overthrown. Weakness doesn't protect, it provokes. That's why Machiavelli said it's better to be feared than loved if you cannot be both. Because fear deters betrayal, while love without strength invites it. You can be kind, yes, but never soft. Because weakness disguised as kindness is still weakness, and the world can smell it. So build yourself strong enough to be dangerous. Because when you radiate power, the predators choose someone else. 3. The death of the nice guy. Your parents told you to be nice, to please others, to avoid conflict. They lied. Nice men finish last, not because the world is cruel, but because niceness is a mask for fear. Nice is what men become when they're terrified of rejection. Nice is what they do when they crave approval. But good men aren't afraid to confront, to lead, to be disliked. Nice men chase validation. Good men command respect. Look at history's great leaders, Alexander, Caesar, Napoleon. They weren't nice. They were decisive, strategic, ruthless when necessary, yet merciful when it served their purpose. Niceness wins short-term affection. Strength wins long-term loyalty. You can be kind without being weak. You can be fair without being soft. But the man who values being liked over being respected will always be ignored. And nothing is deadlier than being invisible. 4. Loyalty is conditional. Loyalty sounds noble, but in reality, it's a transaction. Machiavelli warned that love and loyalty exist only as long as they're useful. Look around. That friend who disappears when you're broke? That company that preaches family until the layoffs start? That partner who wants options while demanding your devotion? This is not loyalty, it's leverage. Blind loyalty is not honor, it's slavery. Powerful men are strategically loyal. They reward those who earn it and withdraw it the second the contract is broken. Test people. See who shows up when there's nothing to gain. Protect those who protect you, but never chain yourself to those who bleed you dry. Because loyalty that isn't returned is just weakness dressed as virtue. 5. Reputation is everything. In Machiavelli's world, image was armor. Everyone sees what you appear to be. Few know what you are. It doesn't matter who you truly are. What matters is what people believe you are. Reputation builds empires faster than talent. It opens doors before words are spoken. Lose it, and even truth won't save you. That's why you must protect your image like a crown jewel. Never overshare. Never explain to those who can't affect your life. Never expose your insecurities publicly and expect sympathy. The world doesn't reward vulnerability. It rewards perception. Craft the legend before others write your story. Be the man people assume is untouchable. Because in a world ruled by appearances, your reputation is your reality. Final monologue. The Dark Mirror. Now you see the world as Machiavelli saw it. Behind every smile, a motive. Behind every promise, a condition. Behind every virtue, a weapon. The question isn't whether this darkness exists, it's whether you can walk through it without being consumed. Most men can't. They collapse under the weight of seeing too much. But the few who endure become untouchable. Because power doesn't belong to those who play fair. It belongs to those who understand the game. You've now been given the rules. The only question left is, will you use them?